You've seen our interactive online maps that we have on our website, and these maps can help with planning, navigation, and knowing about points of interest in our trail corridor. So these maps can be very helpful in telling you where to go, how to get there, and what to see. What they don't tell you is why. They don't tell the backstory. And as Larry says, there's always a backstory. Why do so many people feel so passionately about our region, its history, and its preservation that they volunteer their own time and resources to tell the story? And why should you exert your own effort to get there and experience it to its fullest? Our world-class regional trails, our wonderful waterways, and our scenic byways together weave an intricate, layered story that shifts like our sandy soil down through the ages. They whisper an invitation to experience the natural and historic points of interest, to get people out of their cars, to get close to the soil and waterways, where they take the time to reflect on the past and just maybe find the common ground for the future. Right now, that invitation is subtle and scattered. There's no single source that tells the story. The story of our unique geography and history begs to be told, and one way to tell that story is through maps. This is why some of us feel passionately about maps, and it's also why our advisors, with their combined talents, knowledge, and passion for history, geography, environment, and social justice, are so important to telling the story. Now I'll show you some of the physical maps that we've developed that you may encounter as map kiosks or as printed maps in public places. First, a quick reminder about the loop, and then on to our physical signs. The loop is a 260-mile multi-use paved trail that runs through 5 counties, and it's one of only 2 top priority Florida state-funded sun trails. It connects Titusville, DeBary, Palatka, St. Augustine with multiple communities from the very tiny to the very large in between. And our alliance is the nonprofit that not only supports the loop and connecting trails, but also has the mission to increase active, equitable mobility. This is the map that we have erected in a kiosk at just about 3 blocks from the Enterprise Museum at the corner of Jacob Brock and DeBary Avenues. And as you can see, it features the towns of Enterprise and Deltona. It features this Enterprise Museum, the Inspiration Playground at Thornby Park, the Lakeshore Loop Trail, Lake Monroe Boat Ramp, and soon to be Echo Village and Trailhead, and the beautiful Green Spring Park. That map was erected about 3 years ago. We're now working on a second map that will soon be erected at DeBary Station, and this is a collaborative effort with the River of Lakes Heritage Corridor, National Scenic Byway, and the City of DeBary. So we are one of 3 panels at that in that kiosk. And we're, of course, focused on our regional trails, with a focus on the city of DeBary and the beautiful sites around the city of DeBary. This is our first collaborative project with the River of Lakes Heritage Corridor, but there's a lot more to the story and a lot more to be told. The synergy and connection between our scenic byways with other modes of mobility on trails and waterways still remains to be told. The routes of the scenic byway, our trails, and the waterways all run together, and the trails and waterways bring travelers close to natural and historic points of interest, closer than they can get by car. There are many opportunities to shift travel modes. We have trailheads all along the routes of the River of Lakes Heritage Corridor, where people can get out of their car and out on the trail on foot or bicycle. And there are also kayak and boat launches and boat rentals so that they can get out on the water. These next few pictures attempt to tell the story of the combined access through the byway, trails, and water. But they're telling it in a static and single-purpose kind of way, what we used to call in my computer field PowerPoint engineering. But hopefully these images, even though they're static, can give us an idea of what could be done with interactive online multi-purpose maps. This is the overview map that was developed by Tony Abbott and Sailforth in the brochure that you've seen of the Bartram Trail in Volusia and along the River of Lakes Heritage Corridor. So the red lines indicate the Heritage Corridor. The green lines indicate the currently completed sections of the St. Johns River to Sea Loop, and of course the blue indicates the St. Johns River. So you can see that in many cases the bike trail and the multi-use trail actually gets you much closer to our wilderness areas and our scenic St. Johns River than in fact the River of Lakes can get you with on the highway. So this is the overview map, and as you can see, there are numbers and letters of coded points of interest along the way. And in your brochure, you'll have guides to the various points of interest and what they mean and what they meant to William Bartram in his travels. This is more of a close-up of the area between Astor and Blue Spring Park. And it highlights again the red is the where you can get to by car. So you can see here, for instance, along Lake Beresford, there's no way to get to this area by car at all. The only way to get there is either by water or by on foot or bicycle on the trail. You can get on the trail right at Blue Spring Park, either on a bicycle through the bicycle gate, through the trail gate, or by parking at Blue Spring Park. You can get directly on the trail, or you can bike down French Avenue and get on the trail. You can also get on the trail up at Lake Beresford Park, and of course there are multiple places that you can rent boats on the St. Johns River. Here's an even closer view of Lake Beresford and the distance between Lake Beresford and Blue Spring Park, and that shows you the Lake Beresford Park, which does have a trail entrance. And now this is not a road here, this is the railroad tracks. So you go under the railroad tracks and there's no road to get between here and here. You have to actually go about 6 miles out of your way in order to get to Blue Spring Park, where you can also get on the trail. Up here at Stetson Aquatic Center is now also the Bartram Gardens and Trail, which is a beautiful site with its own kiosk that Tony Abbott has overseen having set up there. So it's a very scenic area, beautiful area, and best seen by trail or better yet on the water. This is another example of potential synergy. This purple is the Hyacinth Drift kayak trail that's proposed by the city of Deltona, and it does follow, in fact, exactly Bartram's trail heading south from Green Spring Park. So this is another opportunity for synergy. So there's no single guide that tells us the whole story of what's happened here in the past, but there could be. We could, for example, Develop a shared vision for a trail and transportation history that would be supported by integrated interactive story maps, interpretive signs, and printed maps and brochures. And this would tell us a good slice of the story that would traces the routes. And in fact, there are 4 routes: the river, the trails, the roadways, and the railroad that all have a history of their own in this area. So all these routes take us through our rich historic and natural landscape, and that getting close to that landscape would inspire exploration, connections, and shared experiences that would help us to reflect on the past and lead us a few steps closer to finding the common ground. Thank you, and please remember to complete your surveys.